Welcome to the Property Profits Podcast. Thank you so much for jumping on today. I wanted to jump in this with as much value as possible, so let's get rolling. I was reading a post today by Brandon Turner. He brought up a really good point about rental properties. And 9 out of 10 investors that you meet, unless they're scaled and have a lot, meaning, I don't know, a lot of doors, they'll say, hey, I cash flow on this thing like bucks a month or $1,000 a month. Damn, that's badass. But me having a lot of rentals, having a lot of doors, know that when you burr things or whenever you have these rentals, there's all sorts of expenses, not just taxes, insurance, and your mortgage. And then, oh, I've got $500 left at the end of the day. That is usually not accurate. And I talk to a lot of sellers all the time whenever I'm trying to buy their property for rental, because I'll go through this exercise with them and I'm like, I'm renting it out for $2,000 a month. I'm like, cool. What do you pay on your mortgage? I pay $1,200, so I get 800 cash flow. And I'm like, did you do anything to it last year? We replaced the AC unit, we replaced the roof, we had to paint it. I said, how much was that? They're like, oh, we spent like 20 G's. I'm like, divide that by 12. You lost your ass last year. Like, no, it cash flows. This is going to cash flow this next year. I'm like, there is a maintenance cost to having rentals. No, you're not going to have to redo the roof every year. No, you're not going to have to redo the AC every year, but you are going to have to redo stuff. If you don't put capex or money into the property, it's going to keep accumulating and eventually it's going to be big repairs like that landlord I just told you about. And I've been guilty of it too. I'm like, this thing's rolling like a Cadillac. Let's chill. Let's not. I've done both. And you should set money aside like you spent it already. And this is actually a tip that a mentor of mine gave me. And they're like, and this is what people do with like really big multi-million dollar projects too, like apartment complexes, things like that. They have an account where they'll put this money into, and they've got to spend it at the end of the year. And in full disclosure, like I don't have huge multi-million dollar apartments, but I know people and are coached by people that do. So I can give you a little light on it. But on a smaller scale, you can do the same thing. You can have houses and you can have a maintenance account or take out money or count money for maintenance, 5 to 10% a year, be safe. But take that out of what you would call cash flow. So say it's, I don't know, let's call it an even 5 grand a year to be safe. What is that, like 400 dollars a month or something? I was doing quick math. I don't know, 409.50. I don't know, whatever. Don't judge me on my math. But $400 a month. So you think that you're making $800 a month on this rental or $500 a month on this rental, and you take out the 400, so you have $100 a month in cash flow. And if you didn't have that badass of a rental to begin with, and you thought you were cash flowing $200 and you weren't taking out maintenance expense or accounting for that, you'd have zero negative cash flow. That's when somebody like me would come in and be like, hey, I want a rental or I want you to do a creative, whatever. But I'd go through these numbers. A lot of people are in la land about it. They sit on the market for a year or they end up taking a haircut down the road or they get smarter. But be a wise landlord. I've got this rep. He's an acquisitions rep on my team. He's young, he's gung ho, badass. And he's just always looking at the top comps, the top of everything. It could be worth this. The ARV could be this, and it could be this. I'm like, but what if it's this? Or what if it's this? There's these lower ones over here. It really pays to be conservative in this industry. And chances are there's different wiring, different types of people. So it's cool to surround yourself with these different types of people. And I'm the type that's let's get it done. Let's jump out the plane. We'll build the parachute on the way down. And it's good and bad. It's good because I get crap done. It's bad because maybe I won't necessarily take the attention to detail that's needed sometimes. That's why I surround myself with people nowadays that do. I'm like, hey, run this model for me, or hey, look at this, or what do you think about this? Just to help slow me down. So you should know yourself when you're investing and know if you need to have soundboards around you like that. But bottom line, don't just say taxes, insurance, and your mortgage payment and your cash flowing if you could rent it for X. I want you to start adding in a maintenance factor of 5 to 10. You're like, damn, 10% is a lot. Whatever. Leave that, account for that in your cash flow, even if you don't spend it. If you don't spend it, cool. You got that in the account and you could use it, pay yourself, whatever you want to do. But I just think that's a super important point. I don't think a lot of people elaborate or talk about it. I like that Brandon Turner did today, and I wanted to bring it up to you in case you did not see that. If you want more tips, tricks, stuff like this, and me to keep presenting this value, please refer this podcast to a friend. We don't run ads. friend, family member, whatever. We don't run ads, we don't do any of that stuff. Shout us out on your socials, leave us a review, an honest review if you're getting value from this. Of course, I'm going to keep dropping it regardless, but this is just your quick reminder to do. Thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to talk to you again tomorrow.